Okay, I think we're ready.
Can you folks hear me?
Master Jedi, are you with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Just so everybody knows, Silver is dead and won't be joining us because she can't talk and doesn't want to be made fun of, which is a shame because we're going to do it anyways. I just have a couple of things, and then uh, I'll pass it over to the man, the myth, and the legend himself, and then we'll go from there. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Let's make 2023 amazing and all be rich and retire to our islands.
Perfect. To do it.
Okay, so a couple of things I want to start out with. Our YouTube channel is pretty dope. We're up to over 600 views, 93 hours of watch time, 100 plus subscribers. So, if you haven't checked that out, please do so. I know most of you come to these AMAs, don't ever miss them, so probably not for you, but for the rest of you, you're probably listening on YouTube, so it's cool. Anyways, for the community in general, we are continuing our Discord contest. First 5 members to reach level 20 get 20 bucks in Lunar. If you've hit level 20, just go ahead and make a ticket and we will get to you. We are upgrading the meme contest. Each week's winner competes in a monthly contest for 50 in Lunar, and the winners of the monthly contest will compete in an annual one to win a Genesis Crystal NFT. So um, we will be starting that and put like the official dates out and an announcement. And finally, we are working on collaborating AMAs with other crypto communities. So when we have more concrete information on that, we will be letting you all know of those as well. They may be joining us, we may be joining them. We'll let you know what the outcomes are. I believe that's it, other than what has already been actually announced out in the world already. So I will pass it off. Master Jedi, take it away.
Well. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Um, I'm sure as I see everybody that's in the room right now is probably already aware, but if you're on YouTube and you're not listening, we had quite a bit of work we released over the holiday break. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. I was coding 18 hours a day because I wanted to start the new year off with a bang, and here we are. So we got a brand new beta out the door for all of our NFT holders. We have I really wanted to get this thing out just before New Year's Day, and it needed a couple extra days to bake, but I'm excited that we've now fulfilled the promise of the NFT holders to be able to get access to the beta when it was out. And we're here. So I have a lot that I could just ramble on about or whatever, but I will take some questions and go over some stuff and what have you. I just had some Vietnamese hot pot, and my brain functionality is questionable at the moment. So we'll we'll see how this goes. But it's great to see everybody here. Anybody have any questions? Feel free to raise your hand to take the stage.
Looks like we've only got one sort of in the AMA questions from Craigus Oss. Can the webpage at the very least point to our page on Tofu NFT when clicking explore the NFTs or crystal NFTs? Yes, we are overhauling the website because there's quite a lot of things on there that need to be updated based on some of the changes in the last quarter. We're working through that. It's a lot, so please be patient. We are also trying to do all of this other cool stuff simultaneously. So it's happening, just not immediately.
Yep. Yeah, the website needs a massive overhaul. Needs a design update. It needs a cleanup. Um, there's a lot of like layout issues on the individual pages and stuff that has to get cleaned up, and there's just a lot of work there. So that's a whole project in and of itself. And like honestly, it's not as important as getting functioning product out the door. So we'll get to it. No worries. Nobody wants to hear anything about the new system. Well, I guess I can chat a little bit about like the reasoning behind why we launched what we did and how we're kind of moving forward through things. So, as I mentioned in my post just a little bit ago, we came across flus right around the time we were dealing with the LP lock situation and Pink Sales contract breaking. So we're working through that with our auditor, because he audits for Pink Sale. Saw an opportunity to try to have some fun with it and make it easier for people to buy LNR. And then, saw the capabilities of the platform, was like, hey, we should do something more with this than just throw it up on the Lunar.io. Then as we rolled out Circle, and I'm sure some of you saw the article that I posted about the process of getting that done. And honestly, as long as that article was, it still didn't cover actually token gating the community itself, which that's coming in a separate article. But it was enough work um, that we want to be able to, like, when you log in and when you sign in with a wallet, we have to give you an email address. That email address isn't real. It doesn't do anything. But in order for it to work with Circle, you have to have a value that has, something before the @ sign and something after the @ sign. So that was some of the challenges around getting that squared away. But because you are authenticating with a wallet address, if you sign in with different wallet addresses right now, you're creating separate users in our system. And if the Omni wallet is going to move forward, we need to be able to combine all that information. And so the beta app and the Lunar platform app is a great way, and it's where we're going to be spending a bunch of our time over the next few weeks. It's a great way to be able to start iterating on more features and functionality in the Lunar account itself. Being able to combine your wallet addresses into a single identity, being able to combine that with the wallet that you're using for the governance platform, having the backend systems be able to check wallet balances for NFTs versus LNR, which, a testament to the work that Shepard and I did on that code. The ABI is the contract interface for the balance of function in between ERC20 and ERC721 are exactly the same. So you're able to use the same code, no changes required to check your NFT balance versus your Lunar balance. So the app's going to be gated to NFT holders for just a little while. I know somebody asked a question earlier, like, when are more people going to get to see it? We are going to continue to get some feedback on the app now. When we roll it to production, it will probably be available to LNR holders at that time. And then we'll get some more feedback, and then we'll open it up to the general public. So NFT holders will continue to get access to the beta site and our beta features before everybody else does.
That looks like either I dropped off or he did.
Can you guys hear me?
We'll give him a
Hello?
minute. Maybe he'll come back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Okay. You can hear me now?
Yes, you left off after being gated.
Oh, okay. So well, I'll just start. So we are going to we'll push the app to production probably at some point in the next couple weeks. At that point, it'll still only be available to NFT and LNR holders. And then once we're comfortable with the feedback, we'll start rolling it out to the wider audience. The beta site will continue to be available only to NFT holders first. And that will go on for a while now. Our rollout process is we roll out to every time we do a check-in, it goes to our development environment. When we're comfortable enough with the work that's been done there, we'll go to beta. The beta will last for a couple weeks where people get to get access to the new features. The NFT holders will get to try out everything that's new, and then that'll roll to production. And once it's in production, more people will be able to access it. So just to set the stage and everybody's expectations, that beta.lunar.io will continue to only be available to NFT holders for the foreseeable future. But we do intend to roll the app into production. I would imagine sometime later this month, potentially before the end of the month, but we'll see how things go. So that's that. So yeah, Lunar accounts are going to be really important moving forward. They're a central component of the minting platform, of the governance platform, of now the application. And so, like, having a place to be able to go in, set your profile, hook everything together, merge your identities so that all your wallets are under a single identity. Those are all like really important and critical features to the entire ecosystem, and that's why we rolled this out now. So, um, for those of you that have seen some of the feedback, like why are we using flues versus rolling our own technology? One, to get it out the door quicker, and two, because trades are not my primary concern at the moment. Like, we proved we can make contract calls. Getting trading functionality to our users is super important, but what's more important at the moment is um, the keys to the kingdom, as it were, with your Lunar accounts and being able to get access to the different platforms that we're spinning up. So that's why that's there. With that, I will pause for a second, let you take that in. Please feel free to raise your hands. We got 33 people in the audience. This is the only time I know I answer questions a lot in the chats, but this is the only time you can hear me unfiltered. So Jack's got his hand raised. We'll go ahead and bring you up. Jack,
Hey
long
guys.
time no talk. What's going on, man?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, man, I think this was a great idea to get the beta out the door and you know, using Fluse's widget. I mean, it gets something on the site, gets people seeing what you're doing, gets everybody a look at the UI, which looks great, by the way. Um, and I mean, I know everybody wants to see our native decks. I do too. I mean, well, when I say the native decks, I mean, instead of the Fluse interface, like our interface that has all the awesome feedback and all those features and everything. But yeah, man, if you guys can make some money in the meantime, you doing it this way, that's great, and getting everybody's eyes on it.
Yeah, thanks for that. I really appreciate it. It's it's other we're not the only great project that's out there, and there are other great projects doing great things, and we'll use whatever tools are at our disposal to ship whatever we can. So, like, realistically speaking, we're months away from having a fully functional Dex. So why wait?
Right,
We
right.
can and at the same time, where the decks our decks will interact with other dexes where necessary, right? And so it's not like when we throw our UI in there that our relationship with Flues, as small as it is right now, goes away. It's a good team. They're a well-funded good team doing great work, and we're always open to partnerships that meet our quality standard. So yeah, it allows us to focus on the right bits of the technology. It gives us the opportunity to let you do multi-chain trades. Every trade you do in the app, we get a little cut of, helps fund the project in BNB and not LNR. And I can't like stress enough in this environment, like, selling LNR to fund the project is not fun, right? The price, how the value is affected by sales of LNR is no fun for anybody. So any way that we can bring revenue in the door that's not tied to an LNR tax is a good thing. So
Well, like you said, it lets you focus on the more areas of the platform than just the trading element. Like that should just work because it's Fluses and you don't have to worry about that, but you can get a lot more information about like the user logins, how the DEX is running, how it's working, you
yeah.
know, other areas.
Yeah, and the really, like, if you think about what the value that we bring to the table is, okay, it was not ever going to be with, one contract can execute a trade against another contract. Like, who cares? Everybody does that, right? The value of the Omni wallet is show me my holdings across every wallet I have. And there may be a couple apps in the last year that have sprung up to do that, but MetaMask doesn't do that. Trust Wallet doesn't do it. I can't see how much LNR I have across 7 wallets. And I can't make decisions on what I'm going to do based on my entire holdings. You gotta change accounts. It's stupid, right? So that's where the real value is in reading wallet balances, combining that information, telling you what's going on. That's where the value is in what we deliver. it's not in, oh, well, your wallet can call a function on another contract to execute a trade. Like, we proved we could do that already with the minting system. It's no long, there are other things that we need to figure out that are more of a priority to figure out. Like, we will get to our own trades, we'll get to our own decks, we'll get to those things in due time. We're focused on doing things in the right order to be able to prove out the entire system. And if we don't have to worry about cross-chain cross-chain trades to deliver that value, then we can focus on the stuff that we can be uniquely good at. So,
Right. I would assume to get the Omni wallet working, like functioning, you will have to have the native DEX though, right? Because that's kind of part of it.
no. So,
No?
so the DEX is just decentralized exchange is just the executing contract stuff, right? A function. So there's kind of two stages of the Omni wallet. There is you being able to see your balances across every wallet and be able to get a unified view of all your wallets. Like, that's one phase of it. And the second phase is like implementing the EVM wallet standards to be an actual wallet, right? To be able to go in and have private key signing, to be able to sign transactions, to have your native wallet functionality that can be in a browser or on your phone or what have you. Those two elements are only related in that they both encompass the term wallet. But I can give you Omni Wallet functionality that lets you see your holdings without necessarily needing to be the thing that executes the trades. Right? Those are two separate
Right, right.
pieces of functionality. So we want to be mobile. We want to have all of the um, JSON RPC functionality implemented to be able to make wallet transactions and to function as a first party native wallet. Um, but we'll get to that in due time. But we can, like, the rendering that you're seeing now in the app, like, that's actual HTML. That's interactive. It's not like Flash or, any kind of crazy fakery, right? That's real HTML. Once we have your wallet addresses and you're logged in with a wallet account and whatnot, it's relatively trivial to go in and read those balances and start to put that information together. So it's simply a matter of time before that wallet drawer will be functional as an asset manager. And then we'll work on making it a fully functioning wallet. And we got some interesting ideas on how would the Omni wallet be able to securely replace your other wallets by being able to import your other accounts? And how do you handle the private key storage? We got some ideas on that I'm really excited about.
Yeah. So if it gets to that point and we're still using Flues, do you think you'll be able to integrate the Omni wallet with the Flues to the point where you won't have to connect in Flues's app, or will it be like you'll have to connect there as well at that point?
It's a great question. The way their widget works at the moment, it's a one or the other situation, right? You're either going to connect inside their widget or we're going to replace the functionality entirely. Now, they may choose to provide those APIs where we can have our own UI and hit their API until we have our own decks. But it's still early, and I'm like, the reason we haven't like announced anything with Flues is because we don't really have a partnership, right? They have a widget that you can configure yourself and dump on your website. So
Right.
we've talked to them and we're listed on their exchange. But that's the extent of it for now. So if that evolves, we'll see what happens, right? So for now, the switching has to happen within the widget, and that I'm really fine with that because the intent of the Omni wallet is to get rid of that context switching. That's an artifact of shitty UI design that the entire industry has adopted, and we don't feel that's the right way to go moving forward. So
Yeah. Well, the UI is awesome. Tell Spaceman he did great on that, man. I mean, once you collapse the menus down and you got that little row of buttons on the left, and I love that it's on the left. You know, it gives you so much more clean space on the right of that. You know, just the whole screen. It's awesome. I like the
Yeah.
layout.
Glad you like it. Spaceman did a great job on the design. We're going to tweak I know there's some issues on mobile that we still have to work out about how the wallet drawer works. We're going to have to think through that a little bit more. But all in all, I'm really happy. And one thing I want to point out is that it may, like on its face, not seem like a big deal to throw two widgets on a web page and throw it out the door. And that part was easy, right? There's like 7 widgets to execute. I really want everybody to understand is the release is not about the specific functionality that's being delivered. Like that's there and that's got utility and it's available, and I'm really glad we were able to figure out something that's meaningful to the community. But what's really happening under the covers is not just the OmniWallet interaction. It's not just the Lunar account. The HTML design for the application and the Lunar UI framework spans multiple applications. There's 4 specific websites that we're going to be delivering over the course of the next several months. Right now, each one of those websites has its own set of style sheets and design files and HTML and all this other stuff. But what we've been working on while we've been working on the Circle governance site and all the like stuff we've written about the roadmap and the Q&A and everything. I honestly don't know if we've had a Q&A since the governance site went live either. I don't remember one way or the other. But what's in there and what we're testing is a unified framework that all Lunar apps moving forward will use the same code, not just a copy of the same code, but like actually a centralized version of the UI that then the .NET projects can import and use. And so this was the first time that we'd had the free space to be able to cut up the work. Spaceman did the design. A company called Keen Themes. They make a template called Matronic. All of the work that I do is based on the core Matronic theme, and Keen Themes customized a Matronic implementation for us. This was the first time that we cut that HTML that they gave us and executed it in Blazor. And so having that set up and ready to go is giving us the ability to roll this out across all of our web apps moving forward. So there's a lot of work that was done to make that happen and not just have it be smoke and mirrors, but have it be the real deal system, which is going to allow us to be able to iterate more quickly moving forward. So
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate the time from you. That's all the
no
questions
worries.
I had.
I appreciate your support and your questions and everybody's feedback on the platform. One thing I do want to point out too is we are working on ways to give you feedback in the platform more directly. So I know that's like if you got a bug or if you want to know like what the new features are or whatever, we are gonna work on getting those types of feedback mechanisms integrated. So
That'd be awesome. Sweet.
right.
Well, great work. Happy New Year's. Hopefully you get some time to enjoy it now.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you too. I mean, it's gonna give me a little bit of a. We got a bunch of really cool stuff coming. So I was really excited to start off 2023 with a bang, and I hope
Yeah.
you folks are excited too.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Anybody
Okay, we
else?
got a couple from our questions channel.
All right.
So Lunar Near wants to know, what is the status of the minting app?
It exists, and it has a status, and not talking about much more of it yet. So we are working behind the scenes to have a report together, and we are going to have some more information to share this month. We were like generally speaking, there are parts of the app that were more finished than I anticipated. There are still a number of things that we got to get done to be able to make the app ready to make the to make it ready for customers. And really, what I will talk about this just a little bit. So the app that you've seen thus far in minting the Lunar Crystal NFTs, that's the app that our customers will be using to mint their NFTs. We still have to build, and we've been building the app that our customers will use to manage their mints. And a lot of that is in, if you look in the governance platform, we've talked about codename Stargate Command, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back and double check here. We have 125 people in the governance platform, by the way. So thanks everybody for jumping in. So in codename SGC, we already have the functionality to do a lot of that stuff, but a lot of that functionality also needs to be available in the minting admin app, which our customers are going to use. So again, part of the reason that we deployed the Lunar beta was to get the layout system in place to be able to use the same UI or a similar UI for our customers who are setting up their NFT mints. And so we're going to have a lot more to talk about that very soon. We're going to have a language around talking about that so that I'm not like stumbling over. We've got a clear way to define our customers versus our customers. And that's one term you're going to start getting real familiar with is B to B to C. It means business to consumer. The type of platform that we're building enables our customers to serve their customers. And that's really where that's going. So I'll stop rambling, but that's the status of where we're at right now. We'll have more updates for that shortly.
Cool. Thank you for that. The last question so far, Miski wants to know, is it still a 6% tax for buy and sell using the beta?
Yes, the contract has not changed. We haven't whitelisted the wallet that Flues uses any differently. I know that they tack an additional tax on top of that to run their network. And at the moment, we're not changing anything. So the contract's not really set up for like that level of differentiation. I know we are doing some differentiation on exchanges that aren't out yet, and we may make some adjustments at that point. But remember, anything that touches the treasury or touches the tax system is likely going to have to go through LIP. So if we do make any adjustments, everybody will know because we'll be putting it through to a vote. And I could be wrong on that, so Val can immediately jump in and smack down and say that's not the plan. But as far as my understanding, that's the plan.
Currently, that is the plan.
So,
all right. Anybody else have any questions they want to come up on stage or put in the channel? We'll give it a little bit.
Come on, it's a new year. Let's hang out a little. Don't be shy. Questions, comments, feedback about the governance platform. Like I said, I'm not sure if we had a AMA since we put that up either. So there's a lot in there on the roadmap. Me chat. All right.
Okay. I guess we can wrap this up for this week. And, if anybody has questions, put them in that channel and we can get to them on the next one. Hopefully, this just means that everybody knows all the things they want to know.
Absolutely.
Any parting thoughts, Master Jedi or Silver, if you're brave enough to unmute?
Really excited about 2023, folks. We got a lot of great stuff coming. I know everybody's, wants to know where we're at on things like the facility deal. Still working. Haven't heard a no. So everything's moving till you hear a no. We got a lot of great stuff coming. I'm very, very excited about what's next. And we're off to a great start. So like I said, I'm around. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. I do want to mention that we had 2 updates to the beta site yesterday, so you may or may not have noticed, but we did push a couple of fixes. There may be another one before the end of the week. We'll just have to see. But thanks everybody for keeping up to date. Please be continue to be nice and helpful in the forums in our communities as we start bringing a bunch of people back in and we do more posts on Twitter and all that fun stuff. There's gonna be a 40,000 holders that have LNR. Not all of them know about the migration, so let's make sure we keep them engaged and to keep people up to date, and we'll continue to drive people towards the governance site. So I think that's about it for me.
All right. I think that is a wrap for all of us. Thank you all for joining, and catch you next week.
Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe.